about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, you're listening to the Talk Box Son. You're listening to the Talk Box. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk Box.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, you guys. Rise and shine. We're on Work It Out Wednesday. And of course, I'm your girl, Sonia G, here on the Talk Box. We welcome you on today. We have a special guest on with us, Mr. Ronnie Norman. But before we dive in with him, I just want to remind you that every day above ground is a good day. We got another day, another opportunity to get some things right that we didn't have right on yesterday. So now that we know we're above the dirt and the dirt ain't on top of us, let's work it out Wednesday. Thank you so very much for joining us today, Ronnie. How are you?
Man, I'm doing real good, man. I gotta say that I'm blessed beyond measure, man. God has most definitely been working his way in my life. And he's given me everything that I've been praying for. And not the way that I wanted it to be given, but the way that I deserve for it to be given to me, because I'm a different individual and I deserve my blessings the way that they're being given. And I'm glad to be here. Love being a guest of yours as always. You have most definitely, me and you done definitely shared some great space together, man. And it's always a blessing to be able to sit and politic with you. What's going on with you this morning?
Well, you know what? I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed because I realize that, again, every day above ground is just a good day. And I think that when we start looking at that and knowing that we're still blessed because we're in the land of the living, I think that that is our first step into living and walking out this abundant living that God has given us permission and authority to live. So today on Work It Out Wednesday, what kept coming in my spirit just this morning, just this morning, God was letting me know that the more we avoid our problems and issues, the more we avoid the solution. And so on today being Work It Out Wednesday, I want to remind everybody that in order for you to fix a thing that's going on in your life, you got to first face it. And again, what I was telling you earlier, Ronnie, is that it's just like when our money is funny and our change is strange, we'll start getting all kinds of mail in the mailbox and we'll refuse to open the mail up. Well, when you refuse to open the mail up and look at the bills, then you are avoiding the bills, but you're also avoiding the solution. You don't know if God is sending you a check in the mail, because that's something that I pray for daily. You might be missing the check in the mail. You might be missing the solution. So my thing to everybody, I want to encourage everybody today: open your mail. I'm probably going to say that throughout the live. Open your mail so we can work it out on this Wednesday. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Definitely open your mail. And the reason why you should open your mail, because mail comes in so many forms nowadays, especially with technology. Mail could be in the form of a telephone call. I've come to a point where I had started avoiding a lot of telephone calls because a lot of them had been from people that were in need more than I felt like they should have been in need. And what ended up happening was I started to avoid their telephone calls when I shouldn't have, because I've done been in need myself before. That's where I actually started. I was in need very young. So that made me not want to ever be in need. So it caused a hunger within me to, try to obtain things, maybe not always in the right manner, but to make sure that I was never in need again, and the people that are around me never needed. So I learned early on to do what you saying today, as in face adversity,
That's right.
open my mail early, go ahead and pull the scab off or the band-aid off and go ahead and just face whatever I had to face. And I've learned over my trials and tribulations that by facing it, it's never as bad as you think it is.
Right.
Yeah, that bill might be a little more than you got in your pocket, but talk to the bill collector and tell him, hey, this is what I got in my pocket, this is what I can
Right.
pay,
Right.
and you'll find out the, the majority
Yeah.
of them are more than willing to accept what you have versus what they
Right.
can't get. Does that make
That's
sense?
right. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because the truth of the matter is this: they rather have something than nothing, and that's in every area of our lives. We have to learn, and all that is maturity. You got to grow up. Put your big girl draws on, and face that challenge head on. I want to remind people again. I told you I'm going to say it throughout the live today. That if you avoid your problems, you are avoiding your solution. You cannot fix what you do not face, and that's in every area, Ronnie. Let's think about relationships. Well, your need is not being met, but a closed mouth won't get fed. So how can you resolve the issue of your need that you have, but you refuse to speak up and tell your need? You can't fix what you don't face. You can't fix what you don't identify. And so on today being Work It Out Wednesday, well, I want to again encourage everyone to work it out. And I want to encourage everyone who just came on, open your mail. Stop avoiding the problem and face it head on.
Definitely face it head on. Relationship wise, I think that a lot of people have issues in relationships because they get in relationships without knowing who they are as individuals. And when two
Yes.
individuals get in a relationship and they don't know who they are, then they struggle trying to get to know who the other person is because that person can't identify with who they are themselves. Um,
Right.
a lot of self-work will definitely build a better foundation when you're trying to build with someone else. I was talking to a younger friend of mine, a coworker of mine, and he come to me a lot for advice. And again, that's one of the doors that I had closed recently with a lot of people wanting advice because a lot of times I find out that the advice I give people don't want because I'm gonna
Mm,
give you the truth. I'm not gonna give you something just to make you feel good. I found that I'm gonna give you that mail that's gonna come with an invoice that's gonna be, it's gonna have a bill in it because it's gonna cost you something. Sacrifice is key when it comes to being able to be successful in life, and I mean
right.
not financially. I'm not speaking financially right now. I'm speaking as uh, being able to become whole within yourself. I feel like the more healthy you are mentally,
Right.
spiritually, and physically, the better off you will be in any relationship with any aspect of your life.
Right.
I told the young brother, I said, basically, I was telling him that uh, to be able to help any individual that you're trying to be with, you have to be able to accept the things that they desire.
Mm, mm.
Because if you find yourself getting with somebody, let's say this, you're not a meat eater, you're a vegetarian, but the person that you want to be with is a meat eater. Uh, yeah, you're not equally yoked.
Right.
So you're gonna have to make a decision, and you need to make a decision early on. Are you flexible or
Right.
not? So decisions need to be made, and sometimes I think we find ourselves getting in situations. Most of them mainly are physical, and then we find ourselves attached physically. So now we're thinking that we can build with somebody that we only physically attached to. So we didn't
Mm,
open we didn't actually open the mail. We picked the letter up, we dealt with it, we handled it, but then we didn't open the mail. And so now we done ran into problems that we really don't want to face. So we don't want to open it and read the rest of the letter, and the rest of the letter is telling us that we're not compatible. Uh,
Right.
and it's okay.
That's part of avoiding. You're
Yeah,
avoiding the issue. And
definitely
then
avoid.
and again, if you avoid it, it can't get resolved. Yeah, I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Okay, I don't know if I'm hitting a bad area. I think we're cutting out a little bit.
Go ahead. I hear you.
No. I was trying to hear you. You were saying something, and I think on my end you were cutting out.
Okay. What I was saying was that's even in relationships. If you are avoiding the issue, you eat meat and they don't. You know what can I tolerate? What can I bring to the table? Again, these are my needs, and so again, a closed mouth can't get fed. So if you're gonna work things out, you got to tackle them head on. We got to run into the fire. So many times we are avoiding the fire. And what's crazy is um, tackling it head on is like having a fire extinguisher there. Your house is on fire, but instead you walking around with the fire extinguisher going in the opposite direction. And so, in order for us to live the abundant life that God has given us permission to live, we have to learn how to one, grow up and tackle the issue head on. Again, open your mail. For those who just came on, what we mean by opening your mail, a lot of times our money is funny, our change is strange. We getting all kinds of bills in the mail, so we just refuse to open them. We just put the envelopes on the counter and don't open them. Well, you cannot resolve the issue if you refuse to open them. So I'm telling you to open your mail. Somebody need to write that in the chat. Open your mail. I'm going to open my mail today. If I got a problem with you, even the Bible speaks of it. He says that if you have an issue, go to your brother or your sister and talk that thing out. And then if you can't resolve it that way, you bring somebody else in on it. And then if you can't resolve it that way, you take them before the elders of the church. So we got a roadmap into not being so because what happens when we don't open our mail, when we don't face our problems, when we don't head into our challenges, we have a thing that happens that we just be in a bad place and we can't, and it can't be fixed.
I agree with that, but I also think that when we open our mail, it strictly pertains to us as well. Like I agree to the extent of if we have a problem with somebody, but that you address it. But I think the way you best address it is you make sure that you're not the problem, because
Right.
a lot of times the problem isn't the other person. A lot of times the problem is how we feel about something. Uh,
Right.
Here's the thing: I can't address somebody else if I haven't addressed myself.
That's true.
And a lot of people are running around not addressing themselves, and that's something that even I've had to do, and I've had to do it extensively. Addressing myself allows me to always have my mail open and reading it immediately. So when I do enter a situation, I make sure that my mail is read and I'm in one accord to being in a healthy situation when I speak to someone, when I deal with someone, and when I interact with someone. So therefore, I know when something's not healthy for me immediately. So I rarely find myself dealing with unhealthy situations. So when I am in unhealthy situations, I can know I notify it immediately, and I can be like, nah, I can back out of this. And I rarely find myself with a lot of issues that I have to deal with on the back end. So what happens is I think a lot of us don't realize we unhealthy.
Yes.
I think a lot of us are trying to open up other people's mail. And that's a federal offense. you know, I'm just, God is good, but he do tell you about your, getting that out of your brother's eye. You know what I'm saying? He tell you to start with your eye. So
That's right.
I would like to caution everybody out there that when you're opening up your mail, the key word is your. And when you want to address a problem, the problem is your problem. A lot of times our problems never stem outside of us. Everything is a choice. A younger brother told me this a couple of years ago, and I argued him down, man. And I was real upset about it myself. And I got to tell you, I was real upset about it because I had based some of my childhood problems on my parent. And what I had to come to understand was, no matter what decision my parent made, no matter what environment my parent put me in, I always, and I mean always, had a choice. No
Yeah.
matter how young I was,
Right.
I had a choice.
Right.
And in that choice, whether I lacked the knowledge to make the right choice or not, I made a choice. And when I gained the knowledge to make a better choice, I still made a choice. So the outcome that I received were the choices that I made. So the mail I got coming into my life is my mail. So so basically, for anybody that just logged on, we're talking about open your mail. The mail that we're really talking about is deal with your problems. So your mail is your problems. Your bills are your problems. Whatever bill you have, you're responsible for paying for that. Your bill, basically what we're breaking down, is your responsibility. We're talking about the responsibility of self. Self-responsibility is key to living life abundantly, because God gave us the power over all things, and it's called free will.
That's
Free
right.
free will is what gets us from A to Z every single day. And it's not just the fact that we're above ground, it's the fact that when we do go where we need to go, and whether that's below ground or in an urn in somebody's home, whichever phase that we go in, our free will still lingers within the people's lives that we touch. That's how powerful our free will is. It's the choices that we have implanted in this earth that leave our seeds to be either fruitful on a positive level or fruitful on a negative level. I've touched people's lives on both notes, and I've seen both seeds carry to this day. And I got to be honest, I've seen both seeds carry to this day, the positive and the negative. So, honestly speaking, man, I'm still paying bills on both ends. The positive one
I hear
and the
you.
negative one. So I've kind of swallowed my pride as far as not answering the phone and doing more helping. I've kind of picked the phone back up and started doing more helping, because it's kind of, I got to atone for a lot more. So my phone lines are back open.
Let me jump in right there. I like when you said about you have to look within yourself if you're having a problem. Because one thing we need to know, that in every relationship, every ship you own, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, you are the common denominator. So if you're having a challenge or an issue, one thing we got to do, we got to face that challenge. Okay, we definitely got to face that challenge. But I want to remind everybody again, if you are avoiding your issues, you are avoiding the solution. So today we're going to work it out Wednesday by stop avoiding the issue. Say you got a drug habit. Well, you avoiding the issue by not admitting that you have a problem. I remember when my mom used to come to me when I was smoking crack, and she would say, "They told me you smoking that stuff." Well, I used to lie and tell her I ain't smoking that stuff. They lying on me. Well, until I got real with my own self. Some of us is lying to our own self. In order for us to work it out on this Wednesday, we got to be real with our own selves before we can be real with anybody else. But if we avoid the issue, you are avoiding the solution. So I could not get delivered from drugs until I stopped avoiding the issue that I was a drug addict. I couldn't resolve the issue in my marriage until I was truthful with myself and looking at what role am I playing. See, sometimes we are doing so much self-inflicting of pain, and we're the reason why we're not walking in the abundant life that God gave us. I tell people all the time, Ronnie, the one thing that God gave us, it can be good or bad, and that's that free will. That's the best thing and the worst thing. It just depends on the choice that you make. So we're going to face the challenge, right? We're going to be positive while we're going through the issue, and don't give up. What are some of the things that you think we can do since it's Work It Out Wednesday when we're facing an issue or a challenge and we've admitted that our part in it? What else can we do to get closer to the abundant living that God promised us, Ronnie?
Well, once we've admitted, what I found is once we admitted that this is the part I play, don't worry about the part the other person plays. That's the next part. The more, because what happens is you've admitted the part you play. Now you want whoever else a part of the equation, the rest, whoever else played a part and is causing the problem, to stand up is like you stood up. That's not going to help solve the problem. You're going to have to continue to work that soil, and work that soul. So it's kind of the same thing, but it's different. You're going to have to continue to do the good work that you do in order to pour more light into the individual that you're trying to help or the situation that you're trying to help. That individual might not do anything to help the situation, but that can't stop you from continuing to rectify the situation. Now, you're going to have to continue to put division between the two of y'all, because the righteousness that you put into the situation is going to continue to cause an imbalance. Y'all are going to become unequally yoked.
Yeah.
And the separation to come on its own. Now, that's not me telling you.
This is what I tell the people on Talkbox. Sometimes you got to know and understand that God separates to elevate. And when you've done all that you can do, then you got to throw it up and let it be in the hands of the man who created you. But my thing is, in order for you to have other healthy relationships, in order for you to have the abundant life that God promised you, you got to make sure that you're healthy. You got to make sure that you're being 100 with yourself. You got to make sure that you're looking at the glass as half full instead of half empty. But a lot of times, again, the problem stems from you avoiding the issue. And again, if you avoid the issue, you avoid the solution.
Right. But I think once you stood up and said you took full responsibility of what the part that you playing in it, you're no longer avoiding the issue.
Right.
You're no longer saying that the glass is half full. You're saying, hey, I'm full. You already deciding to make sure that you're full mentally, spiritually, and physically. You're saying that every day I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk in my fullness to be able to accomplish whatever I need to accomplish this day above the dirt. You're saying that I am going to take my mail and open it up and read every single letter of every single word and digest it to be the best me alive. And I think that's all God is asking us to do. I think that's all God wants us to do, to say that he created the best unique me, and there's not another me on this planet, and I'm going to be the best me in order to leave the best version of me here for everybody life that I touch, to be able to understand that they can do just the same, just by being that example, just by being you. Now, I think that if we all focus just on that aspect, because I think a lot of people be more concerned with the individuals that are involved in their life, rather than just their life. And I'm not saying being selfish here. That's not what I'm saying at all, because a lot of people might confuse what I'm saying with being selfish as opposed to being selfless. I'm saying be selfless, because if you focus on being the best you, the best version of you, and the best version that God created you to be, you're always selfless. You will always be giving. You will always be loving. You will always be creative, because you will be in a mind state to give. You will be in a mind state to love. You will be in a mind state to make sure that your neighbor eat when you eat, that you are creating in abundance. Life will be in abundance. It's not about what I'm gonna get back if I feed my neighbor. It's not about what I'm gonna get back if I love this person unconditionally. It's not about what I'm gonna get back, because I'm full. I don't have to worry about what you're gonna give me back, because I'm full. I mean, I don't worry about if this guy fixes his plate and he eat 10 plates, because I'm full.
Right.
You know,
that's going back to just opening your mail again. For those who just came on, open your mail. We gave the analogy that the bills is coming in, and you know your money funny, but you just decide to not open the mail. Well, if you avoid the problem, you are avoiding the solution. So I want to remind everybody today on Work It Out Wednesday, push past your pain, your pressure, and your problems, and pursue the promise. The promise is God has given you the authority and permission to live an abundant life. I want to thank you, Ronnie, for coming on this morning. You've been an awesome guest today. Can we see your face before we go?
I'm actually, I don't know how to work this thing, man. Let me figure out how to work it, and I'll tell you what. I got you next time. I got you next time. I promise. I got y'all. Hey, Talk Box, I love y'all. I love y'all. Y'all continue to show love, and do me a favor, everybody on Talk Box. If you haven't already, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what to do. Money never sleeps. We need stars, people. Put them stars in effect. Get them stars flowing so we can keep this thing going. And everybody, work that thing out today on Wednesday. And if you don't get it worked out, please work that thing out on Thursday. All right? Y'all have a blessed day. Hey, I gotta go. Okay, I love you.
Ronnie. Thank you. I love you as well. I appreciate you. We want to thank God for Ronnie coming on today. He was a wonderful guest. I hope and pray that we've said something to help you along life's journey. And on tomorrow, Thankful Thursday, you have a link to get on. God said in his word, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. So you're going to have the opportunity to come on the Talk Box on tomorrow and let somebody know how good God has been to you. Give the devil a black eye by standing up and professing that you are thankful on tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to every last one of you being my guest on tomorrow. We'll limit you down to 2 minutes per session, but we're thankful. And I am so excited about Friday's show. Sheikah, Shot by Sheikah, will be here. Miss Sheikah Benford, talking about chasing your dreams. So you don't want to miss the show tomorrow because you're the guest and the co-host. And you don't want to miss the show on Friday for chasing your dreams. I want to remind you once more, open your mail. Stop avoiding the problem. If you avoid the problem, you're avoiding your solution. God said in his word that he has a plan for you, a plan to prosper you, not to harm you, a plan of a hope and a future. So all we got to do is face that thing head on. So we're going to face our challenges. We're going to be positive during our challenges. And the last thing, we're not going to give up, because quitters never win and winners never quit. I'm your girl, Sonia G, here on the Talk Box. Thank you so very much. We'll see you tomorrow on Thankful Thursday. God bless, and you have a great day.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, listen. the talk box beside. Yeah, listen to the talk box. Let's talk about it.